All right, I think we're good to go. 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're live. Tin Roof, Wednesday, December the 15th, 2021, a.k.a. National Signing Day for college football. And as my good friend Corey said when I walked in, no shortage of storylines today. And throughout this week, I feel like I haven't gotten sleep all week, but that's okay because that means content, and content means business, and business means money. So appreciate you all tuning in again. Very, very excited to chat with you all, taking your questions, comments, calls. Also, probably going to be using this conversation for the podcast. So again, if you're hearing the sound of my voice, welcome to episode 559 as well. We're going to go ahead and just use this convo. I'm going to talk about everything I'm going to talk about on the podcast tonight anyways. With signing class, Gamecocks, I think officially signing, 21 prospects today. I don't know if they signed all 21, but either way, signing the class right now, sitting 24th in the total team rankings on 24/7 Sports, 21st on Rivals, and I don't know what on ESPN because nobody really follows ESPN. But either way, we're taking your questions, your comments, your calls, and of course, like I said, if you're tuned in digitally on the podcast, appreciate you guys tuning in as always. Really excited if you guys have never been to a Tin Roof show. Be sure to come on out. We're out here in the Vista, $3 drafts. I think 50-cent wings are dead. I'm going to go ahead and assume that. Yeah, 50-cent wings are dead. There's a wing shortage in Cola. Blame Omicron. Omicron got a hold of the wings or whatever the freaking variant thing's called. They do have $7 pitchers, though, which we discovered last week, which is incredible. I don't know how it took me. We've literally been coming here since July, and I didn't know they had pitchers at all. So that's on me. I'm a slapdick for that. So either way, again, really excited to talk recruiting, taking your questions, comments, calls. I already see that the questions rolling in regarding Deshawn Barham, and I certainly want to get into that and give my overall thoughts and feelings. And I've got other texts coming in about today's recruiting class, or just the recruiting class as a whole. Also, we need to touch on Spencer Rattler, Austin Stogner, which is not factored in the recruiting rankings. The Gamecocks got a lot better as a football team on Monday night when they picked up one of the most highly sought-after players, certainly, that was going to come through the transfer portal, and that is Oklahoma transfer quarterback Spencer Rattler, effectively picking up a 5-star quarterback, and immediately Spencer Rattler becomes already the best quarterback prospect to ever step foot on campus in Columbia, South Carolina. So again, you wanted him, you got him. Rattler on campus along with his buddy Stogner, the tight end. Also big news today in the transfer portal as Gamecocks quarterback Jason Brown announces he will be hitting the portal, pursuing other opportunities. Will not play in the bowl game, so will it be Zeb Nolan? Will it be Colton Gauthier? We can talk about that. Also, J.J. Nibari announcing he is declaring for the 2022 NFL Draft, which no surprise there at all. I mean, you fully expected that. The guys projected as a first-rounder. Kevion Mullins in the transfer portal. Zaquandre White earlier this week announcing he's going to the draft. So, I mean, it's just all kinds of stuff I feel like has happened this week. It feels like it's crazy. I woke up today and I was like, it's Wednesday. How is it not already Friday? I mean, the amount of news we've had, the amount of content, which, again, is great, though, for what we do. It's incredible. But, again, we'd love to hear from you guys. Like I said, if you're tuned in on the podcast, which will be dropping on Thursday, guys, appreciate you all tuning in. Also, we are going to have a fantastic conversation with Kawan Lewis on that show. I believe Kawan Lewis. Let me double check here. Yeah, Kawan Lewis. I haven't really decided yet. But, I think it's going to be a conversation with Kawan Lewis. Either way, appreciate you all tuning in, man. Like I said, a lot to get into with this class. Currently sitting 24th. Let's see. 24th on 24/7 Sports and 21st in the Rivals. Yeah, Kawan Lewis is our conversation. I just want to make sure I had that right for those who are tuned in on the podcast. So again, great conversation with Kawan Lewis, but taking your questions, your comments, your calls, and talking about the Gamecocks class. So without further ado, let's go ahead and run through the class, by the way. The players and the good. Actually, right now, you sit 23rd on 24/7. So I don't know what happened. You just jumped up a spot. Also ranked 11th in the SEC. You run down this list of commitments, and I'll talk about the decommitment at the end of this because, again, he was at the top of this. He was actually the highest-rated commitment of the signee. It would have been of the Shane Beaver era, but, of course, he decommits, flips, signs to Maryland on Wednesday morning. But you run down this list. You got safety Keenan Nelson Jr. out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, which is a really, really good pickup. And I think people forgot about this kid because he committed all the way back in the summer. Really, really good prospect. I think he'll play immediately for you in the secondary. Then you got quarterback Braden Davis out of Delaware, really highly talented player, four-star linebacker. Stone Blanton out of Mississippi, who is a hard hitter, going to play for Mark Kingston as well, but a hard hitter in the middle. Definitely think he's going to help you out defensively immediately as well. Then you got 3-star safety Anthony Rose out of Miami, Florida. 3-star safety Henry Floyd out of Powder Springs, Georgia. 3-star wide receiver Landon Sampson out of Texas. 3-star linebacker Donovan Westmoreland out of Georgia, which the Gamecocks actually got a flip from him. He was committed to UGA. They got him to flip, I forget, it was a couple months ago, but either way, 3-star linebacker Donovan Westmoreland out of Georgia. 3-star safety Peyton Williams out of Texas. Peyton, shout out to Peyton. P-E-Y, though, not P-A-Y. 3-star offensive lineman Ryan Brubaker. This kid is all Gamecock. So you see him on social media, absolutely loves USC. I think he would have signed immediately if he could have. 4-star what? Used to be a 4-star, got bumped to a 3, the cock drop, whatever. Right. 3-star safety Gwan Banks out of Tallahassee. 3-star defensive lineman Felix Hickson out of Jackson, Georgia. 3-star safety Nick Emanwari out of Irmo High School in Columbia. 3-star offensive lineman Grayson Maines out of Swanee, Georgia. 3-star edge Brian Thomas Jr. out of Winter Garden, Florida. 3-star offensive lineman Kason Henry out of Marietta. 3-star defensive lineman Demetrius Watson out of North Charleston. 3-star defensive lineman DeAndre Martin out of Virginia. And then finally, 3-star wide receiver Xavier Short out of Chapin. Shout out to Chapin. You got 3 guys who I don't think have signed yet. I know one of them, DeQuandre Smith, an athlete out of Columbia at Spring Valley, 3-star kid. He will sign in February. I heard he's got a blue shirt, so he's actually going to count in 2023. Then you got a 3-star wide receiver, Kylan Horton, and 3-star defensive lineman, Jamal Weiss, out of Miami, Florida. Now, of course, I did not mention at the bottom, you got your 2 big pickups right now in the transfer portal with your quarterback, QB1, Spencer Rattler, and your tight end, Austin Stoddard. Now, again, the guy I did not mention at the top of that list, Deshawn Barham. And what a situation that is. What a situation that is, or was, if you will. So I'm a big don't tweet at recruits guy, and I still stand by that, don't tweet at recruits. But, man, R.I.P. Barham's mentions. R.I.P. his mentions. In case you missed what happened, folks, Shane, we were going into detail. Of course, it was a big pickup, a big deal over the weekend. Getting this kid, a 4-star linebacker out of Baltimore, Maryland, and was the highest-rated commitment to date of the Shane era, and certainly would have been the highest-rated signee. The morning of signing day, he flips to Maryland and signs with the Terrapins. And I actually got on social media because I woke up very early on Wednesday, obviously, and I was shocked. I thought it was a joke. I thought Maryland had messed up, and they had already put together the tweet. And I was like, they don't realize he committed to us, whatever. They had this tweet on set to auto go. And sure enough, no. It turned out that Deshawn Barham had actually switched his commitment and signed with Maryland. Now, Shane Beamer, this is where it gets interesting. Shane Beamer saying that on Saturday, after he committed, and we saw all the crystal balls, right? The crystal ball boys came out and predicted he would go to Maryland. After we felt pretty good, folks felt pretty good that Barham would go to South Carolina. He ends up, the crystal ball's coming to Maryland. He still ends up choosing South Carolina. So we're thinking to ourselves, okay. So people got some bad information. Well, per Shane Beamer, Coach Beamer got a call about 10 minutes after Deshawn Barham had committed to USC from someone close to the situation in Maryland saying, hey, man, just so you know, him committing to you guys, it's all part of the plan. He is going to flip on Wednesday morning. It gets even crazier because Tuesday night, the night before signing day, Beamer also mentioned that Deshawn Barham and his mother called and expressed how happy they were to be signing with South Carolina and how they had finally found a home, blah, 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 just went on and on and on about USC. And then sure enough, Wednesday morning, the news drops. Guys, I don't know. I just think what you're seeing is the shitty side of recruiting. And listen, everybody's entitled to their own decisions and where they want to go. And I'm not going to lose sleep really over where a 17, 18-year-old kid wants to go play his college football. But I will say there is a way to do things, and there's a way to operate and a way to treat people. And karma's a bitch. I don't know. Karma will play out. And, I'm not wishing you a will on the kid at all. Absolutely not. But that's a shitty way of going about it. So, Either way, whatever, all we got is all we need. And I'll be honest with you, looking at it from a glass half full, looking at it in a positive for South Carolina, thank God the kid didn't come here. Thank God he didn't, because if his background and everything else is that wishy-washy, if that is the moral compass and the character of the kid, I mean, most likely he would have gotten on campus and after spring ball went to the transfer portal anyways. So what difference would it have made? I'm not sure what difference it would have made. All right, we've already got a call here. I think this is our guy, John Kruger, if I recognize the number correctly. So we're going to go ahead and jump to the phone lines here.
John from Rock Hill.
Yeah. John from Rock Hill, you're probably going to be calling the Shane Beamer's call-in show here shortly, I bet. But, hey, fire away with your question, John, and we'll take it off the air, my friend. Go ahead.
I was listening on this whole Barham situation. Like, I understand commitment to a school, but don't like being part of the plan. Like, if you know you're going to flip to another school, you commit to another one. Just try out commit to the one you know you're going to go to. Like, don't use this for the plan. Like you said, Shane Beamer got called to intercept him. Like, I'm getting caught where Shane was going, okay, we can't make it play Columbia. It's a play home, and you get it to the man. Like, they want to be principal. That's not how you handle it. Like, I don't want to be obviously with them well for it, but kids go to the South football. Don't do no man. How come listen? I mean, I know we're not the greatest bar right now either, but we're the best talking man right now. I mean, if you're the play man, fine, but how come losing and not using no play like it?
John, well said, my friend. Well said. The passionate Gamecock fans, you have to love it. And hey, I hear you. Listen, I hear you. It's like the wife or the husband getting cold feet on wedding day. You just get the rug pulled out from under you. So listen, it is what it is. It's just one guy. We got a bunch of other signees. I look at it this way, man. You're gonna have a hard time talking me off cloud nine. We got our quarterback. We got our guy. We got Spencer Rattler, and that's where it all starts. We're not going to win games because win or lose games because one linebacker decided to or to not come here. We will win or lose games because of a quarterback. So that's kind of the way I look at it. Yeah. You got two good linebackers as well. Stone Blanton, Donovan Westmoreland. You do need an offensive line. And I mentioned a few offensive linemen. Also, they're going to the transfer. We're not done in the transfer portal. South Carolina's far from done in the transfer portal. Theo Weiss is a guy. God, I'd love to get Theo Weiss. The Bray kid from Oklahoma, might be getting him as well. So if you think Shane Beamer is done working in the portal, I just think that would be a mistake to make that assumption. So we've still got spots. Beamer mentioned that there's a lot of flexibility still with scholarships, and I think he said that on purpose. I think, hey, we've got openings. We can add guys. Guys are going to hit the transfer portal. Are any others going to hit the transfer portal? I don't know. Maybe so. And I will tell you this, though. That's another thing I've been seeing with – and here's the thing. Do I wish Jason Brown was playing in the bowl game? Yeah, I do. I wish he was playing. Do I think he should? Maybe. I mean, whatever. Do I wish J.J. Barry was playing in the bowl game? Yes, I do. Quan White? Yeah. But I'm not going to knock a kid for when coaches are up and doing it every single day, leaving for better situations, leaving for better paychecks. I'm not going to knock a kid for if he feels like he's got a better opportunity somewhere else. That's his decision, and it is what it is. So there's just no point in dwelling on it. And now you either turn to Zeb Nolan or Colton Gauthier to be your starting quarterback in the bowl game against UNC. But again, we can get to that more in a second. Again, I want to talk about the recruiting class. Like I said, you take a look at this class. Like I said, the guy that jumps out to me, I'm excited for Keenan Nelson Jr. I just feel like he was sort of forgotten because he committed so long ago, and there was no drama around him. But again, coming out of St. Joe's Prep School in Philly, 6'1", 200, a four-star kid, like I said, ranked the 19th best safety in the country. So very, very excited for him. I think he's an immediate impact player in the secondary for you. And I think Beamer, you heard him talk about it too when he talked about the secondary and talked about the defensive backs they signed. Where do you see these guys? Where are you projecting them? They can play anywhere, corner, safety, whatever it is. And you want guys that can help you in many different ways. Stone Blanton obviously is another huge pickup for you in the middle. Four-star linebacker. I mean, this dude's already 6'2", 220 as a senior in high school. Already built. I mean, you look at him. pretty much already filled out. He's only going to get bigger, stronger, faster, so really excited about what he can give you. And again, I'd love to hear you guys' feedback too when you talk about your favorite player from the class, most impressive player from the class, sleeper of the class. I think Ryan Brubaker could be an immediate impact player for you in the offensive line, 6'6", 280, already has that size. Nicky Memore, 6'3", 208, his measurables. Really, really excited there as well. I mean, again, there's a lot of good players in this class. But again, you look at the class, ranked 23rd right now on 24/7. 21st, I believe, on Rivals. I believe 21st. Let me pull it up here. 21st on Rivals, I believe. Let's see. Yes, 21st on Rivals. As I've said before, and I'll say it again, because I see many fans complaining and coming to me, Chris, we finished 11th in the SEC, which is crazy that you can be ranked, what's going on, man, 23rd nationally. I'm assuming you're wanting to talk about Deshawn Barham.
This is bullshit.
Right. So everybody wants to talk about Deshawn Barham, and I was just talking about it. You just missed it. So we'll go back over. This is going to be the podcast from March. So it doesn't matter.
Everyone this is everything. NIL deals is going to ruin everything. I said it from the beginning. And look what it's done. It's ruined everything.
I don't think this is NIL. I don't think this is NIL. I don't think so. I think this was a setup from the jump. Because did you hear what Beamer said about it? Did you hear what Beamer said about it?
No.
Okay, well then that's going to clarify some things for you. So, anyways, Shane Beamer was asked about Deshawn Barham and the situation, and I don't know if it was because he legally can't. If it was because he legally can't, or he just didn't want to. He did not name Barham by name in his answer. I'll give you his full answer though, verbatim. This is, and I quote, when asked about Deshawn Barham and the situation and what happened. Quote, "You'd have to ask the young man that you're referring to. I can't say it's a surprise. When this particular young man committed on Saturday, about 10 minutes later, I got a phone call from somebody in the know up there that said, hey, just so you know, it's all part of the plan. He's going to flip Wednesday and go to Maryland."
Why?
So I can't sit here and tell you that I was shocked, but when you're on the phone with the young man as late as 10:30, 11 o'clock last night, speaking on Tuesday night, and he and the mom are telling you how they're so thankful they found a home, how appreciative they are, how we do things, how they know that South Carolina was the place for him on his very first visit to South Carolina, and how excited they are for the future, you feel pretty good about things. Certainly with the young man you're referring to, some strange things happened overnight, which that's a story for another day. Again, we got the right people here in this program who signed today, guys you can win with, and you win with people, and we certainly got the right guys here today. That's for sure. That sounds like a Peyton Dawkins, bad first date story, like leaving the girl on and can't get a text back. That's tough. Yeah, for sure. Anyways, there you go. So there's a lot of shadiness. I think a lot of it wasn't Maryland's coaching staff saying, hey, commit to South Carolina and flip to us so we look better, like we're this flip school. And we pulled a player away from an SEC school. I mean, you're right. Huh? I saw that. I didn't see that, by the way. Jalen got a haircut, for those who were wondering. Those tuned in digitally. Jalen got a haircut. What's the point of doing that? The point of doing that is because you're petty. I mean, what else do you want? I don't know. I mean, why do people do a lot of things? You know what I mean? I don't know. I can't speak for why they would do something like that. I don't know.
My buddy told me that the running back at Virginia Tech.
Running back at Vatech. Ramon, whatever, Davis.
He went to Maryland, too.
Brown did go to Maryland. Yeah, Ramon Brown did go to Maryland.
If that's not the biggest NIL deal I've ever seen from both.
No, there's a Gamecocks Maryland rivalry brewing.
Dude, I want us to schedule them so bad, so much and they lose to us.
They said he's a bunch of money.
Anyway, so no, I get it, man. I get the frustration of Barham, but whatever, man. All we got's all we need. What else are you really gonna say? You know, I'm not gonna, again, as I said before, and I guess I said it right before you got here, I'm not gonna let the decision of a 17-year-old kid ruin my night, and you know, I'm gonna lose sleep over it. But yeah, shitty. It's really shitty. And I'll tell you this, man. Looking at it from the positive, we dodged a bullet. We dodged a bullet.
We don't want anyone.
As Brad Lawing would tell you, you know, we dodged a bullet, man. We dodged a bullet. Maryland can have that headache. They can deal with that problem. Again, it's not like the kid's a 5-star quarterback. He's a freaking linebacker, man. I'm sorry, linebackers don't score touchdowns. So,
Looks like Antonio Williams.
all right, here we go. We're going to jump to the phone lines. We do have a call. Zachary, fire away with it. We'll take the question off the air, my guy.
Chris, I'm going to say right now that this is psychotic. This is psychotic. It is psychotic. That's all I can say. That's all I will say. It's just psychotic. It's crazy. This is crazy shit. This is crazy shit. That's all I'm going to say.
Thank you.
Zachary with it. Thank you, Zachary. Bringing the passion, bringing the heat. I did not know, I'm irritated by it. I did not know people would be this fired up about the Barham thing. I mean, but you know what? I told Corey before we even started, I said, you do not screw over the Gamecock fan base and live to tell the tale very often. Thank God Deshawn Barham isn't like a local prospect and was coming here tonight. Oh, we wouldn't get in. He wouldn't get in. Bottom line, he wouldn't get in. That's it.
The reason why is because we love Shane Beamer so much.
Now, I get it. Trust me. I just couldn't believe what Beamer. I'm just like, I can't believe that. That's so shady, man. Like,
It's the fact that people be lying straight to your
Unreal.
face. It's just shame. If you don't want to.
folks do be lying straight to your face.
Yeah, it's just shame.
I mean, like I said, ask all the girls in Peyton's life. They keep lying straight to their face.
They lie to you too.
Tell them one thing,
Hey,
and
no.
tell them one thing, and it means something completely
Raise
different.
your hand, girls lie.
Yeah. Men lie, women lie, recruits lie, numbers even lie. Just everybody. Don't believe anyone. Don't believe anyone. Anyways, guys, 843-790-3377. Again, like I said, if you're tuning in the podcast, appreciate you. This is going to be Rocket Man commented that dude in the crowd is pissed off. Yeah, he is. He is. Somebody also said they couldn't understand what John was saying.
Go Tigers.
Yeah, Bama has the number 1 class. No kidding. Adam Ritter. We all know Panic Ritter. Panic Ritter says, F that Maryland player. I hope he doesn't go to the NFL. Oh, man. People are on one. Let's see. Yeah, and I hear you. Let's focus. How about Spencer Rattler, my guy? Let's focus on the positive. We got our quarterback. Gamecocks got their quarterback. Spencer Rattler officially. Dude, I had like 50 texts. Even old J-Mo was hitting me up in the group chat. Hey, J-Mo couldn't believe it. Yeah, he's like, we got Rattler. Oh, yeah. We were fired up. Dude, social media was on fire Monday night.
My mother doesn't care about football.
Your mom texted you about Rattler.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
doesn't care.
That'll do it.
I saw Stockman's first. And then
Yeah,
I saw
yeah.
Rattlers with 37 seconds from when it was posted. I had chills for the next like 10
Yeah, me, old Peyton and I went out and got taquerias. And,
Hey,
good luck taquerias and got home. And
Hey, Mondays and
hell, like I was with Peyton when I posted the little Rattler video. Yeah. So,
Hey, you ended up looking good though.
let's see. This guy wants me to read this. I don't know how to say his username, but he says, I'd love to be able to chat on Facebook, but they banned me for 30 days for bullying a Clemson slap dick. So, I'm telling you, dude. Our fans are on one. Signing day, again, top 25 class. I'll tell you this, too. I know the Gamecocks drop. I know you lose Barham, but realistically, looking at it, man, I came into, and I said this over the summer, as long as we have a top 25 class, I'm good. I'm good. And you have Rattler and Stocker, which are not included. So I'd say you won.
Potentially other transfers. Hey,
We could get other transfers. It's not over. And it's not over yet.
Hey, if you can develop a walk-on into a draft pick, you can develop
Yeah.
that.
Listen, exactly. And here's the thing. I challenge you to go back and look back at the recruiting classes under Steve Spurrier and what they were ranked. Because we were not pulling in top 10 classes. We had a 7th ranked class in 2007.
33 commits is why.
The class, here's the funny thing. The class that Marcus Lattimore was a part of was ranked 25th. It was ranked 25th. I mean, we had classes between 20 and 25. Again, one of my favorite movies, Moneyball. We are card counters at the blackjack table. Until we start winning 10 games consistently a year, we're not going to get 5-star and 5-star and 5-star. We're just not going to do it. We're not going to do it. So it's the chicken or the egg conversation. What comes first? You get all the 5 stars and you start winning big and winning a lot of games, or you start winning a lot of games and you start getting all the great players.
Outside of that top 3, the SEC rankings mean jack.
Yeah. I mean, and that's what, I understand why the rankings exist. And I'm not telling you the rankings don't matter, the stars don't matter. But when we're talking about like the difference between South Carolina being the 24th ranked class or 23rd ranked class and the 19th ranked class where LSU is like 0.12.
LSU's lower than us right now.
Are they lower? Okay. I mean, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Well, it's just, it's splitting hairs. How much better is the 20th class and the 25th class? I mean, is it that much better?
You're above Lane Kitten's Ole Miss.
Yeah. So let me just tell you this. We're pulling in top 25 classes. We're pulling in top 25 classes. Hey, we're a top 25 program. I can live with that. I can live with that. Hey, South Carolina's not a top 10 program right now. Not even close. So South Carolina's not going to be pulling in top 10 classes. But you know what you did do? You might have the 23rd ranked class, but you got a quarterback that goes to a top 3 or 4 program, top 5 program, a top 5. He does not go to a South Carolina. You have a great opportunity right now, and speaking on the Rattler and the saga and stuff, we'll talk about the OU transfer. You have a great opportunity with Spencer Rattler. You can parlay the Spencer Rattler signing. Nice haircut. I don't know. You look like a mole rat now.
I look like a human being.
I could have given you the number for my guy right there in 5.
I almost got a bullet for you today.
No, I like it. I like it. What did he have before again? Was it long? What was it? It was long.
It was Ricky John Love.
Okay, that's right. I kind of forgot what it was. I'm just used to seeing Jamie with the hat so much. Blake, this guy says, how many $5 bills is J-Mo taking out of his grandma's purse today? I don't know.
I missed it. What did you say?
He said, how many $5 bills is J-Mo taking out of his grandma's purse today?
I stopped stealing from my grandma.
Yeah. Anyways, though, the Gamecocks have a great opportunity, speaking on Spencer Rattler, and to parlay that success of bringing Spencer Rattler on. Here's how. I went on everybody's favorite radio show today, Mark Ryan, just our favorite radio host. And no, listen, I like Mark, but I know the Gamecock Nation is not very fond of him. But anyways, I went on his show, and he asked me point blank, what is success for Spencer Rattler at South Carolina? How do you define it?
8 wins.
And I mean, okay, so it's tough for me to pinpoint right now, at least, right? We still got a bowl game, like to look ahead to 2022 already, pinpoint wins. I said, 3-1 touchdown interception ratio. It's hard to put a number on it statistically. But for me, success for Spencer Rattler, and it will spell success for our team. It will spell success for his statistics, record-wise, everything. Spencer Rattler getting drafted. I know that might just sound like, that's just so basic. We have not had a quarterback drafted at the University of South Carolina since 1989.
Didn't Connor Shaw get drafted?
No, he signed as a free agent. Don't test my knowledge on this. I did my research. 1989. Not even Anthony Wright, signed as a free agent. No, J-Mo.
Steve Garcia with the Canadian League.
That was not drafted. To the NFL. Drafted to the NFL. It was Todd Ellis in 1989. That was the last quarterback that was drafted. It's a quarterback-centered. The game of football, you got to have a quarterback. You don't have a quarterback, you don't have a chance. It's a quarterback-driven game. You have to have that guy. You don't win games 20-17 anymore. You got to score points. You got to have a quarterback to score points. That's a given. All I'm saying is, you can parlay this Spencer Rattler thing in a future success. You get him drafted, you get into the league, all of a sudden, other 5-star quarterbacks, or at least very highly touted quarterbacks, are like, okay, I can go to South Carolina, accomplish everything I want to, win a championship, get to the league, get a great education. There's a lot of beautiful women in Columbia, a lot of great places to go out, great facilities, great fan base, right? Great bartenders, cheap drinks, great podcasts, great media people, right? Great merch, everything.
Apparently, Rattler didn't even come to Columbia.
And Rattler didn't even visit. None of that. He got none of that.
He was.
Boy, is he in for a treat.
Is
he in for a treat?
I used to ask him about bus champ. I had to
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm saying you can parlay that, though, because if you don't think having Spencer Rattler here is going to help get more prospects and other players, you're out of your mind. Receivers are going to see that, especially offensive guys. They're going to see that. They're going to see that and say, hey, why not South Carolina. I can go play at South Carolina. I can go play with a big-time guy like Spencer Rattler. He's going to get drafted. I'm going to get drafted. He's going to get me the ball.
Well, he might just be here for 1 year.
That's fine. I only need him here for 1 year. I don't need him here for more than one. That's fine.
I could go play in
I only need him here for one. I only need him here for one. Hey, good. He should be here for one. If he's here for more than one, we screwed up. He's an NFL guy. He better not be here for more than 1 year.
What if he really likes it?
Well, I mean, that's different. I mean, you know, whatever.
He can hang out with me.
What if he meets his wife and, you know, just wants to be here forever? Big Columbia. He becomes a big Columbia guy. Could do it. Zeb Nolan 2.0. No, I don't know if Zeb Nolan's a big Columbia guy. Probably not after his running.
This one's a fucking fighting. He started it. He
Right,
started
right.
it.
Anyways,
That's why he's
I don't know where I was going. Either way, I'm just saying you can parlay that into future successes, I think, getting other big-time and getting other big-time players as well. Stoddard's a big-time player.
Hey, parlay and success don't belong the same.
Parlay and success. In this scenario, this is a successful parlay. This is a successful parlay. All my gambling folks are cringing hearing the word parlay. It's like, no. Big parlay guy. Oh, so you like losing money. Good to know. Serial parlay guy. Just got a text here. Hope you and everyone in the live chat are having a week. Your friend, Robbie Davis, a.k.a. Kirk Herbstreit. Robbie, Peyton says he loves you. Just so you know. Let's see. And this guy's username, by the way, is Blanel Beats. Blanel Beats. I think his name might be Blaine. I don't know. That's a terrible Twitch name. Maybe it's a good Twitch name, but bad as anything else. Right. He says Spencer has 3 years of eligibility left. What do you think will need to happen to him personally to decide to stay for a second year? Again, I think it's bad. Right, and I don't want that to happen. If he balls out and does what he's supposed to do, he's going to be I don't know if he'll be a first rounder out of Carolina, but he's going to be a draft guy. Like, bottom line. So,
Hey,
yeah.
do you think this 4-star coming in from Delaware
Braden Davis, the 4-star from Delaware, yes.
is he the next Connor Shaw?
Is he the next Connor Shaw? How about this? Let's try to stop making anyone the next Connor Shaw.
Yeah, you're right.
Can he be a week in, week out QB1 successful, lead us to a lot of wins, more wins than losses? Got the build, he's got the skill set, and that's another thing. Maybe he can be groomed now under a Spencer Rattler, because again, the best thing that could happen is he redshirts. I mean, too often we've seen guys thrust into action before they were ready. Right? So I don't want to see Braden Davis playing in the true. I don't want to see Braden Davis take the Luke Doty path, which that's another very interesting storyline of what happens to Luke Doty now, going into next season. But I don't want to have that happen. I mean, ideally you have a system in place where you bring a guy in, he starts for, you know, or let me put it this way: you start out with a guy who's a junior or something, junior, senior, starts for 2 years. The next guy comes in, he's a redshirt sophomore. Then he starts for 3 or 4 years. Then the next guy, a junior. And if you have these veteran, experienced guys instead of throwing these freshmen in the flames when they're not ready, you can stun a kid's growth. You can stun a kid's growth by throwing them to the wolves too quick. You just crush their confidence. It's any sport, too. Peyton knows. Kids go out there as a freshman pitcher, they get rocked, they're never the same again. Because they weren't ready. They weren't ready for it. Then they quit, they go to CIU, they blow their arm out, and they're sitting at Tin Roof eating which not Tendies. The elephant dare worked. The elephant dare worked.
Hey, you cannot elephant dare somebody.
You cannot elephant dare them and not do it. True. Tony Sharp tuning in on YouTube from Gilbert. Appreciate you, Tony. Again, guys, we're talking National Signing Day. I don't think we're going to have a break today because Shane Beamer's got a call-in show at 7. And, yeah, he's at Backstreet tonight, 7 to 8. I'm not going to go, but I am going to have it on my laptop and watch it here for those who want to huddle around. And we can have some brews and listen to what – I mean, I'm sure Beamer's going to say a lot of exactly what he said again. I'll be very interested to hear if he expands on the Barham thing again. So, I don't – you're calling in? You should do that. You should call in.
Hey, what if I want to huddle around regardless of the call-in show?
If you want to do what?
I want to huddle around regardless of the call-in show.
That's fine. Yeah. Huddle around. Cool.
You should do a call-in show.
This is a call-in show. No. Anyways, Where's my Todd Ellis? Where's my producer to help me? That's the question. Where's the soundboard?
Sound like Phil.
Yeah. Nah, he's over there. Phil. Yeah. Give it up for Phil. Phil's a legend. Phil's a legend.
Hey, Phil, do you know what was up last week?
So again, guys, Gamecocks sitting at 23rd nationally on the 24/7 rankings. You look at rivals, they sit at 21st in those rankings. And I'm happy with the class. When you look, the signing class is very heavy defensively. I mean, you look 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of your top 8 guys, 6 of your top 8 guys are defensive players. You signed 6 defensive backs, which I don't think is a surprise because even though the defensive backs overachieved this year, I mean that's an area of lack of depth. You just don't have depth for sure. Jalen Foster's now gone. Who else is leaving? Jalen Foster's gone, and R.J. Roderick is gone. Dickerson, from what I'm hearing, I don't want to spoil any news. I hope I'm not. Will be back. What I'm hearing, he will be back. And a lot of guys do have decisions to make what they're going to do. But I'm hearing Dickerson will be back. Of course, J.J. Barham is going to be. You need to reload defensively. I think the Gamecocks are going to hammer the portal for offensive guys. I do think that's how they're going to attack it. So we'll see how Shane approaches it. You did get some good offensive players. Like I said, Braden Davis for the future. You like him. I think Landon Sampson, is going to be a big-time player for you. I do think Landon Sampson, 6'1", 180 pounds out of Southlake, Texas. He was actually Quinn Ewer's #1 target, which, that says it all right there. Big-time player there. I think he will be a good player. I think he will fight for playing time immediately in a wide receiver room that desperately needs playmakers. And then you look at, who's the other receiver we got? See you, man. Xavier Short out of Chapin. And they're actually going to move him to tight end. So where did they go?
He left. Yeah,
Oh, that's right. He said he was leaving. That's right. Dang. That's right. He was leaving. Cool. Anyway, Stogner has 3. Does he have 3 or 2?
But when is he NFL
I'd have to look. I don't know. I haven't checked that, believe it or not. When is Stogner draft eligible? Question. Somebody out there in the comments might know. I've been going 1,000 miles an hour, and I have not. I have not looked at that. Rocket Main, you can actually watch the call-in show, believe it or not, on Backstreet's Bar and Grill's Facebook. They stream it on there. So the more that you know.
He graduated 19.
Stogner graduated 19. 20, 21. He would have been a sophomore this year. So but COVID. So, but he's draft eligible going into next season. He is a draft eligible player. So, hey, ideally, Rattler and Stogner both get drafted because they just balled out for us and had insane years. I would take it. Either way, though, guys, again, taking your questions, your comments, calls 843-790-3377. Again, if you're tuned in on the podcast, do appreciate you all. If you're tuned in on the podcast, like I said, I know this is a little bit unorthodox, but hey, this is National Signing Day week, and normally I would go home after this and record a podcast, but with Beamer's call-in show being at Tin Roof, we're talking about all the same things I would be hitting on the podcast anyways, and I just really selfishly don't want to be up until midnight editing and recording. So hopefully that's all right with everybody else out there. But either way, guys, I really am excited with this class. I know we got the gut punch early in the day about the Barham news, and it is what it is. All you got's all you need. And we got the guys that Beamer said want to be Gamecocks. We got good football players, too. It's not like we're going out there taking.
We got a great defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Really
We got a great DC. We're fine. And again, it makes the pickup of Stone Blanton that much bigger. And that's, I guess that's the other reason. Again, finding out what we know now, I don't like how Deshawn Barham went about it. Scumbag move. And I don't blame the kid, I blame the parents. Terrible move. Awful. You don't work that way in the real world. And I see your text. You don't work that way in the real world. But this morning when it first happened, I said, you know what? When we get a kid to flip to us, he's a genius. He's awesome. We love him. So when a kid flips away, it giveth and it taketh. It's just recruiting giveth, recruiting taketh away. It just does. It just does, right? It's just like playing Call of Duty and you're trying to snipe somebody and you kind of have like a blind shot. You get them. When you get shot, it giveth and it taketh away. The Claymore giveth and the Claymore taketh away, right? We've all been there. We've all been on the wrong side of that. So. Claymore does give it, though, very often, but sometimes it do take it. It really do take it. Another guy I'm really high on in the class, man, Anthony Rose, I would say is a sleeper as well, a guy you got to flip back to. I remember talking to a couple of Gamecock football staff guys over the summer about this kid. Really, really good player. Emery Floyd, I should say. Again, you got a lot of defensive backs. Another DB out of Powder Springs, Georgia, 3-star player. I mean, you went heavy defense. There's no question. It's kind of like, I mean, you went very heavy defense. Another kid, by the way, that I didn't realize this, Kason Henry, 3-star offensive lineman out of Marietta, he actually chose the Gamecocks over UNC. So 6'6", 290 is what he'll come in at. So a big kid.
One thing you know about all the other linemen, they're all 6'6".
Yeah, all the other line, yeah, you see 6'5", 265 is Grayson Maines. And then your size on the defensive line, you got DeAndre Martin, who's 6'4.5", 290. Demetrius Watson, 6'2.5", 285. You've got Felix Hickson, who's 6'3", 285. Yeah, you got some big dudes coming in for sure. You got size. It's all one of the trenches. We saw it this year. It's one of the trenches, no doubt. No doubt. But yeah.
Hey,
So,
Chris, real quick.
yeah.
How many more commits can we give out? Or like, if people leave, can you change?
That's a great question. What's up, my guy? That's a great question. So Beamer actually addressed that and just said they have a lot of flexibility in regards to scholarships. He didn't put a specific number on it because a lot of that's going to depend on transfer portal, who leaves, who stays, and I guess that's honestly just one of the challenges of being a head coach now. I mean, it's free agency, right? And we're seeing it all over the place. Quarterbacks leaving, players leaving. I think there's like, what's the number? It's got to be more than 200, right? I don't know why the number 200 is going to. There's a lot of players in the transfer portal. A lot of them. I mean, again, today alone we had 2 guys in it with Jason Brown and Key Mullins. Jason Brown and Key Mullins both into the portal. So they've got flexibility, and Beamer made a point to point that out. They do have flexibility when it comes to numbers and scholarships. And listen, we're not done, man. The transfer portal, Shane Beamer has shown that, again, he's not going to sit on his hands. He's not going to just wait and hope that things get. They're going to go out and be good football players. They're going to use, and I think Beamer, listen, I said this on the show earlier this week, and I'll say it yet again. There's one coach in the state that is anti-transfer portal and anti-NIL, and this is what's wrong with college football. That's what's wrong with college football, and just wants to bitch and moan and complain about how things are. There's another coach in the state that is player-centric, embraces the transfer portal, goes out and gets a big-time quarterback and a big-time tight end, and embraces what the NIL presents to players and what it brings, and knows they didn't come here to play no school. They're here to play football. And that coach is in Columbia, and the other slapdicks up in Clemson. So, I mean, listen, adapt or die. You can not like how college football is now. You can not like the NIL. You can not like what happened today with Florida State and that top kid choosing Florida State, and Barstool Sports giving him $1.5 million. And I'll say this too, because I got a text from somebody, one of my buddies, that said, we got to get our big-time boosters. We got to get our big-time boosters to pony up, open their wallets, and get this program where it needs to be. Listen, if you're stupid enough to pay a high school kid $1 million to come to your school, so be it. I wouldn't advise anybody to do it, though. An unproven high school prospect, you got to be kidding me, dude. The kid's not Jadeveon Clowney. Like, give me a break. So, listen, and I get it, man. Dave Portnoy, savvy businessman, all Gucci, but nah, bro, I wouldn't give a damn if TSUS was below. I'm not giving Deshawn Barham $1 million. I don't give a damn. He can go to Maryland and play in front of 10,000 people and kick rocks for like here. I'm not giving the kid $1 million just to play here. Antonio Williams? No. Not now I wouldn't. Surely enough I wouldn't. So that kid was, I guess we've talked about that. But that kid was waiting on that Clemson offer, Antonio Williams from Dutch Fork. And that's fine. So be it. But he was waiting on that Clemson offer from the jump, and he got it and went to Clemson. So be it. Whatever it is, what it is. Wish the best. All good. It's what it is. By the way, Shane Beamer asked about what did you see at Spencer Rattler in Oklahoma, and he simply answered, wins. I saw a lot of wins. So, yeah, I think he's. Like I said, I'm on cloud 9, man. You missed on a linebacker, you got a big time quarterback. I'm Gucci. I'm fine. I'm not sweating it. It's all good.
He's not done.
Yeah, 2 big-time quarterbacks with Braden Davis, too. So we're not done. We're not done. We're not done. Yeah. And we're going to, and I think I said this a couple weeks ago, a school like South Carolina, you can really hammer the transfer portal and use it to your advantage. I mean, it's in previous scenarios where it took 5 to 6 years to rebuild. Now it can take 2 to 3 because you can go out and get a guy. Hey, guess what? You know what the better thing about, or the great thing about Spencer Rattler is compared to Braden Davis? Spencer Rattler has actually performed at the Power 5 level and had success. You know, I mean, a high school kid to a degree, which is again why I would never sign some crazy NIL deal for a high school. You don't know how they're going to perform. You don't know how they're going to handle college life. You don't know if they're going to, and I think what's really going to happen, I'll tell you this, I would watch these kids get these deals, these huge, and that's fine. Hey, the players should have NIL. They should have the opportunity to make money. I am not against it. I'm for it. Because the NCAA has exposed kids forever. So go get your paper. Watch the families of these kids, though. It's like when people win the lottery, man. It's like when they win the lottery. I can just see it ending very poorly. I'll just put it that way. I don't know about for the kid. Well, I don't know about NIL as a whole because, again, I think for 99.9% of people and players, not everybody's getting paid $1.5 million. Most are not. Most are guys like Eric Stevenson, who we partner with. Hey, we're gonna sell some T-shirts and we'll throw you some beer money and all cool. I get to make great merch. You get to ball out and be represented on T-shirts and hoodies and all that, and we get to rock it, and it's all good, right? It's a mutually beneficial partnership. But yeah, I mean, the majority of kids are not getting $1 billion. You know what I mean? Not everybody's Quinn Ewers, not everybody's whatever that kid's name is that went to Jackson State, which he's gonna get his paper. Look at him hit the transfer portal next year and go to Florida State. Hey, give Reggie Bush the Heisman back. And Peyton, by the way, made a great point. And I won't read the text verbatim. I certainly won't read it verbatim. But I do agree with his sentiment. I'd rather lose Deshawn Barham and the class be ranked 21st on Rivals or 23rd on 24/7 than pick him up knowing what we know now and the class be ranked 17th. I just, you know what I mean? Like, what difference would it have made if you picked him up and, the class is 17th and then he transferred at the spring practice? Who gives a damn? He's not even here anymore. Yeah, I got you. Keep it PG for the kids. Zachary Barker says favorite player in the class, Keenan Nelson Jr. I do like Keenan Nelson a lot. I'm a big Keenan Nelson guy. And Landon Sampson, another big. I like Landon Sampson as well, man. I know Justin Stepp loves the kid. Sleeper, Kason Henry, and Anthony Rose. Like those guys as well. Like them as well for sure. Let's see. James Drake, did Maryland really tell Deshawn to commit to us then flip, or did some late money come in? That's up for you to decide. I mean, listen, was there a bag involved? Maybe. Did we throw a bag at Rattler? Probably. All is fair. It is what it is.
I think they didn't tell him to do it, but I think that they okayed it.
They okayed it. Right. For sure. I mean, I have to think Maryland put a bug in his ear, like, hey, you want to make us look really good and help us out? Well, you should commit to Carolina and then flip on signing day. Again, don't ask why. I don't know why. I don't know. If I knew, I'd tell you. I don't know. No idea.
It makes no sense.
I'm telling you.
Nobody gets it.
Nobody gets it.
I'm telling you right now.
Where's that guy? Because I'd be like, let me hit the nobody gets it button. Because you're right.
You wouldn't have to hit a button.
Right. I wouldn't have to hit a button.
I'm telling you, the NIL, after what we saw today, pissing off the big Power 5 schools to go to a tiny school.
Right.
That's going to piss them off. It's pissed off a lot of people, and I'm telling you,
What's going to happen?
it's going to go back to
Big schools are pissed off. Player goes to a small school instead of their school. What's going to happen?
Beautiful thing. We are not a big school.
well, I mean,
What's going to be the result now? What's going to be the result?
I was talking to my buddy a little bit. They're gonna make some changes where you gotta sign and then you can get IL deals, or you gotta wait a year and then you can get deals. There's just gonna be a change because that's doing better than some NFL players. He just got paid
They're trying to put Mike Norvell's ass in a jackpot.
Than some kickers on the NFL team. I don't know how much NFL players do, but they should not be getting paid that much money to go play
So do you think, let me ask you this. Do you think that kid that went to Jackson State to Florida State, do you think he went there solely, or at least his lead reasoning was because of the NIL?
You think he switched from?
I'm asking you. Do you think that he went there solely because of the NIL? Yes or no? I'm going to make a point. Yes. If the answer is yes, which it probably is, the answer is yes, I don't want him anyways. If your sole reason to go to a school with NIL, then I don't want you to play for me anyways. Because Brad Lowing literally sat up here and said it. The kids that are most focused on getting attention, and I would count NIL as attention. Most of them don't pan out anyways. They just don't. They don't. A guy like Deshawn Barham, hey, maybe he'll go be an NFL Hall of Famer, but to do that, then you're probably not going to be worth a shit anyways for us. So what difference does it make? You know,
being coached by prime time and FCS competition, I'm also like, hey, I can't go here and I can't get that.
I mean, listen, I get it. But the reason that all happened, again, Deion works for Barstool. What's good for Deion's good for Barstool. So
I don't mind.
Deion literally went on Barstool's whatever show it is yesterday, Tuesday night, and said, "Y'all watch on signing day. Something big's coming." He knew. I mean, he knew. They had a deal in the works the entire time.
This whole thing won't last a year.
Had a deal the entire time.
We're getting NCAA back.
See, Tucker says it won't last a year until TSUS in 5 years is blown up, and I'm throwing the bag at everybody. Yeah. NIL's the best! Yeah. I'm going to start making up like fake company names and just be like, oh, he's sponsored by this company. We're just the masterminds behind it all. We're throwing everybody like $250,000 in a briefcase. Like, here you go.
I'll drop it off. Hey, nobody's going to hate it when NCAA comes back in the summer.
Nobody's going to hate when NCAA comes back. That's a fact. That's a fact. That is a fact. Great day to have a day. Great day to have a night. Great night to drink some cold beer.
Oh,
Sure. Great night to come out and see Jomo at old Tin Roof. Throw some tips at Jomo. Boy, I tell you what, if you missed last Wednesday, what a fiasco that was. What a time that was. Just goes to show you when all the service industry folk come into one spot, it gets ugly. It gets ugly. Ugly fast. It's very ugly, very fast indeed. No, we had a good time. We had a very good time. Unexpected, but a very good time. Anyways, guys, looking at the class, because again, we're continuing to talk South Carolina's recruiting class. Gamecocks sitting right now, and I'll refresh this. Yep, 23rd. And let's look at all the recruiting classes, by the way. The team rankings. Let's see if I can pull it up. The team rankings.
Wait, is this first one the bigger one, or does it? I mean,
I would say like 90% of guys signed on the early signing day. It's all this is. It's just the first day everyone can sign. You can still sign tomorrow. This is just the first day. You can sign on February the 4th, which is like the normal signing day. Which, the early signing day, it's cool. I'm not like gonna complain. I kind of miss National Signing Day, like truly the National Signing Day. That was fun.
They need to change the schedule because having 2 signing days where like one.
It makes it really tough on coaches.
Keyshawn,
It's making it tough on coaches for sure.
Keyshawn Nixon felt like a 5-star when he got it in February.
True. All right, here are the team rankings, and here's an update. 24/7 Sports, the number 1 class in college football, the Texas A&M Aggies. They have taken over Alabama, the number 1 spot. Let's see, we got a call here, brother. Let's see who this is. I couldn't hear the name. Hold on, let's take this call. Hey, go ahead and fire me with your question, my guy. We'll take it off the air. What's going on?
We're going to be talking about Landon Sampson or hell, just this entire recruit class. I think there are going to be guys in this class that are, just athletes. They'll go to the next level athletes that nobody gets credit to. Landon Sampson is going to be the next Ryan Brewer. Guys that people in Carolina are going to talk about for years and years and years and years to come. Just you're gonna get football and a lot of, especially now, but they get so much throw the ball too. And Jason Brown, I wish him all the best in luck in the world, but we just got a way better addition to our quarterback room. I hope Luke Cody stays around and then Braden Davis can be around, but imagine if Braden Davis is hanging out for a year or two and just spending time with Spencer Rattler and watching how you play a football game. It's gonna be great, man. It's gonna be great. Good things to come.
Good things to come. Appreciate the call, my guy. Thank you. Great points made. No, good stuff. Good stuff. I will say this. One thing that stuck out to me from Shane Beamer's presser, and I'm sure he's going to stress this again tonight in his call-in show. I don't know if anybody else caught this as I pour myself another cold beverage.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if anybody else caught this, but Beamer was asked, I don't exactly remember what the question was specifically, but he was asked about the class, whatever, and mentioned guys like Landon Sampson, mentioned guys just throughout the class, and compared it to the classes when he was at South Carolina the first time. And again, exactly what he referenced is what I've been saying. That he said, we had guys, maybe they weren't household names, but through development and got them on campus and they were the right fit and they turned out to be superstars. So he said that he felt like this class very much resembled those classes they were pulling in. And again, I understand every coach in America it's just like when we have the welcome home tour of the summer, right? Every coach is saying how great they are, and everything's positive. But I just think early on in his tenure, that's going to be the strategy. Would I have loved to see the Gamecocks finish 15th? Hell yeah, I would have loved to see it. But realistically, if we can recruit 20th to 25th every year, at least for the first couple, I'm not going to complain. Hey, the problem before wasn't the recruiting. It wasn't that our class was ranked this or that. We could not develop. We've had a severe development issue. So you need to be master talent evaluators. You got to be master talent developers. You got them on camp. Now you've signed these guys now. Hey, you got Spencer Rattler. You better get the most out of him. That's the big thing. You better get the most out of him because, hey, with a guy like Rattler, he's got talent. We know he does. So if he plays like crap, we're going to have some very big issues, right?
All of champ classes, besides last year, all of champ.
Not to cut you off, but 2 of the 4 highest rated commits ever, signees ever, Carolina history, came in a Mustang. And what have they done? Zach Pickens and Jordan Murphy, what have they done? And no disrespect to the guys, but what have they done? Haven't done a damn thing. Haven't done a damn thing. How many times you hear Jordan Birch's name after the EIU game? I don't even remember him playing. So, got to develop. Recruiting and getting the commit is only half the battle. It is half the battle. So, don't mean jack shit if you're a 4-star, but, look at, no offense again, but look at Ortre Smith. God, look at Josh Mantle this year. Did nothing. Look at Dak Joyner. And he mentioned Luke Doty, by the way. We can get to that point. Luke Doty. The number 1 goal for Luke Doty, do not let him turn into Dak Joyner 2.0.
Yeah.
Make a plan for him and get the most out of him because the going back and forth from quarterback to receiver and not really knowing how to utilize him. And then you know what happens? You get to his final year like Dak Joyner did, and he's just nothing. He just isn't good at anything. At least be good at one thing. At least be good at something. If you're a jack of all trades, you're a master of none. You got to be good at something.
I'll give you a better one. Joseph Anderson.
Joseph Anderson? Yeah. God, he just fell off the map, too. 4-star out of Tennessee. We beat Tennessee, right? For him?
Yeah.
High-rated 4-star. Did nothing. So, again, it's about Jimmys and Joes. Stars are great. But I will tell you this. I talked over the summer to a guy that's right now on the Gamecocks football staff, and I don't know how hard you have to think to know who it is because I've been pretty open who my buddies are on the staff. But, I talked to him over the summer, very notable assistant coach, and was asking about, I was like, how much do stars mean to recruit? As Brad Long said, they don't look at stars, right? They don't look at stars. They don't. how important are stars? He said, Chris, the top 100 guys, the top 100 guys. The 5-star, those guys, like, there are some guys that are certainly no-brainers, right? Those top 100 guys they're pretty damn good, right? You're not top 100 by accident. But he's like, where recruiting is really won is determining the difference between the 300th ranked player and the 600th ranked player. Both 3 stars, or one's maybe a low 4 and one's a high 3. Hey, guess what? People asking me, is Jalen Sneed going to flip? Jalen Sneed? I was told they didn't even like Jalen Sneed. They thought he was trash. There's a surprise. They thought he sucked. Then you look at a guy like a Nicky Memori from Irmo. They called him early, said, we loved him. They said he should be a 4-star, no question. But because of COVID, he didn't have as much film. They're like, dude, he's a freak. He's a physical specimen.
Yeah, dude, DBU, baby.
So, I mean, it's an imperfect science. Like, I'm not sitting here going to tell you that, stars mean nothing. Because guess who's top 5? A&M, Bama, Georgia, Ohio State, Texas. I mean, I guess outside of Texas, those teams are all pretty good. Penn State 6, they're pretty good. Notre Dame 7, UNC 9th, which the hell with them. Michigan 9th, Oklahoma 10th. Here's where it gets really wacky. Missouri's 11th in recruiting.
What the hell?
Yeah, they one 5-star, 7 4-stars, and 8 3-stars. Kentucky is 12th, which they've got a 5-star. Blows my mind. Tennessee is 13th. They had a huge signing day. That's if we're just talking ratings with that list. Tennessee 13, Auburn 14, Stanford 15. How about this? Clemson at 16. They got 13. FSU at 17, even without. Can you imagine they got the #1 prospect? Good Lord. They finished at 17, or at least they're at 17 now. LSU at 18, Arkansas at 19, Indiana at 20, Michigan State 21, Mississippi State 22, South Carolina 23, Ole Miss 24, and Iowa 25. Other notables, Maryland's at 28. Vandy at 37th, by the way. Clark Lay is doing work. Go ahead. Question from the crowd. Here we go.
From what you've seen over Shane Beamer over the years, and what you've seen from the Muschamp,
Right.
who do you think can develop better talent and find better recruiting talent?
Right.
It's obvious.
So let me ask you this. You asked who's the better recruiter? Are you also asking that question?
Yes.
Because I've been asked that. Who's the better recruiter?
Who's better at finding in high school that guy?
Shane's had 1 class.
All right, so here's what I would
He's
say.
had Oklahoma recruits. He's had something.
Well, I mean, he was in a city. Yeah, what the Oklahoma? I'll tell you this because that question's come up. Hey, who's a better recruiter, Muschamp or Beamer? Listen, and you can take it back. Like, how good is this recruiting class? The reality is, and the one thing that Muschamp said, I will actually really agree with him. You won't know for 2, 3, or 4 years. You just won't. We just won't know. Hey, when the 07 class was signed, that included players like Garcia. I think Devontae Holloman was in that class. Melvin Ingram was in that class. Travian Robertson, Patrick DeMarco, Brian Maddox. There were other great ones. We didn't, you knew ratings-wise and stars. That's all great. That class is good. But it wasn't until 2009, 2010 that you were like, oh, that's a legendary class. That's the class that changed everything. Truly, that was the class that changed everything. So we sit here December the 15th, 2021. Hopefully, on December the 15th or whatever day, 2023, we're like, wow, that first full class for Beamer was the game changer. That was a great class. You know what I mean? So I bet we're just not going to know. How well can Beamer develop talent? I don't know. Are 3 or 4 of the most legendary Gamecocks of all time in this recruiting class? I mean, if they are, then, I think it speaks for itself, right? Proof's in the pudding. It is. Proof's in the pudding.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
You cover these guys every day. You have a good.
Cover them every day. You are correct, yes. This is, as Kevin Kisner once said, this ain't a hobby.
How do you feel about Step and Peterson's tweets? I personally love
Step? Yeah, so here we go. I'm glad you brought this up. The question was, how do I feel about Justin Stepp and Mike Peterson's tweet? Mike Peterson this morning, in case you missed it, said, Buck life, it ain't for everybody. And if you don't know who that was in reference to, then you're an idiot.
It's not.
It was in reference to Deshawn Barham. And then Justin Stepp. I don't remember exactly what his tweet said.
What we're building here is
special, right? It ain't for everybody, right? It honestly goes in line with how our coaching staff acted all season. Our coaching staff was very passive aggressive. I mean, I think I've read some of it too, like when about play calling and scheme. And I mean, what Satterfield stood in front of a microphone, in front of the media, talking to, knowing fans would hear him, and said, he was asked about, is your scheme complex? He said, high schools run our scheme. No, it's not complex. It's very simple.
Do you like it?
He didn't give a damn. I don't mind it. I mean, yeah, I like we got a little swagger. We got a little attitude. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
I got first source that Dak was taking first team snaps, and Brown, before he hit the transfer portal, was taking third team snaps.
Per sources.
Per sources, baby.
Per sources.
I got a guy. He's got that. He's an insider.
Per sources.
What was the sources?
Hey, let me. I'm gonna go on. Let's see how this. I should do that. We should see how it goes on Twitter. I'm gonna say, per bartender J-Mo at Tin Roof, and just like see what people are gonna be like. Are you serious? Just per totally anonymous source that I did not just say on the air. Well, I'm not asking you to reveal your source. I'm not asking you to. Hey, you got a guy, I got a guy, he's got a guy, we all got. This is have a guy season, right? This is per sources season. Right? Hey, bad time of the year to not have a guy. You know what I mean? Horrid time of the year to not have a guy. So, at least one guy. At least one guy. That's why J-Mo's still single, because all the girls in his life have the same attitude. Hey, gotta have a guy, at least one. Many other reasons. Yeah. Oh, here we go. That's not Frankie's, right? No. Wouldn't even take her to Frankie's. You know she's a bad egg. Jeez. I mean, J-Mo loves Frankie.
She doesn't like dogs.
Whoa. Doesn't like dogs.
Catwoman, get out.
I bet Deshawn Barham doesn't like dogs.
Catwoman, get that.
Hey, I bet Deshawn Barham doesn't like dogs.
Hamster woman.
Makes sense. Who makes sense?
I bet Jeff didn't like dogs.
SEC football, too. Injecting some perspective. It's a great night to have Spencer Rattler and Braden Davis as quarterbacks. Indeed, it's a great night for that. I will say one of the funniest things I saw today, though, was I was tuned in to Shane Beamer's presser, whatever, talking recruiting. And there was somebody on there with the YouTube name Spencer Rattler commenting, like, I'm so happy to be in Columbia, man. And I was like, guys, that's not really him. Like, you think he's just on the YouTube chat? Just W's in the chat?
Hey, Shane Beamer on the chat.
Yeah, Shane Beamer's also tuning in the Daily Crow daily, commenting, right? For sure.
What are the chances of Rattler playing against North Carolina?
They're zero impossible because he's literally legally cannot play.
Why not?
Because you can't play for two teams in the same season and the bowl game counts as the season. It's like literally illegal. Literally.
What about Jossie?
Jossie. Hey, Jossie was very hype about the Gamecocks landing Spencer Rattler. So, yeah.
He said Jossie.
Oh my God! Here we go. Oh, I know who this is now. This is Blaine. That's who this is in the Twitch because this is his latest comment. Per J-Mo's sources, the notoriously controversial Tin Roof beverage, the Tin Roofie, works in less than 30 minutes. Blaine Lee, or anything that guy's name? He got banned from Facebook for bullying Clemson fans. So, yeah, I don't know.
He's a real MVP.
He is true. I mean, that dude's hysterical. MVP of the Tin Roof chats, for sure. We should have those as like end of the year awards, like the most valuable commenter of the year. Because I could definitely name a few for sure. From the Daily Crow and Tin Roof, no doubt. It's like the most valuable commenter of the year award goes to, I don't know.
It's still fuck around profit.
Well, soon, I tweeted it and then I honestly deleted it because I don't want to inject negative vibes today, but as soon as Barham, it was announced he signed, I said, well, here comes the life support tweets again. So,
yeah.
Here they come.
I am legend. So Mr. I am legend.
Yeah.
Wait, can we get even a better linebacker than baseball dude?
Yeah, Stone Bland. Slugger, by the way. I mean, technically, is he higher rated? No, but they're both 4 stars, and I mean, whatever. Yeah.
So that dude's literally going to play football.
And baseball. And then drop bombs at Founders. Yeah. Nukes, bro. 6'2", 220 already. He's a senior in high school. Bro, he's as big as me. I'm a big dude. You're like, damn, we got you playing linebacker. We're screwed. He's a little thicker than I am. He's actually got about 20 pounds on me. So.
I'm the next Adam Bridges.
Jesus Christ, Adam Prentice. Never knew her. Yeah, as everyone who ever comments on anyone who enters the transfer portal ever on Instagram, the comments, who?
Oh,
Yeah. It don't matter who it is. Who? I'm surprised that Jason Brown one didn't get that. I'm shocked. And I will say this, just speaking on that again, the big news today, which wasn't shocking. And I got a text last night from somebody, man, Jason Brown is pissed that Spencer Rattler came. I'm like, who gives a shit? I mean, this is SEC football. This is not Pop Warner. This isn't Pee Wee. This isn't participation. We're trying to win. People's jobs are on the line.
We want W's.
I will tell you this. Am I surprised that Jason Brown is not playing in the bowl game? Yes, I am. Because guess what? I don't know when the next time, if ever, he will take a snap for an SEC school as a starting quarterback ever. So the answer is never, actually, because I don't. Where's he going to go?
Who do we have left?
Huh?
Who's gonna be our quarterback?
You have Zeb Nolan and Colton Gauthier, and per sources, Dak Joyner. Per sources, Dak Joyner was taking first team reps. This is not my source. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just rehashing what I was just literally told. You know what this sounds like? It sounds like that sounds like what J-Mo said. It sounds like we'd be at 10 Roof at like 2 a.m. shit hammered. Be like, man, you know Dak was taking first team reps, man. Like, bro, you're blackout, bro. Like, what are you talking about?
That's going to start. He's going to shit on us.
I hope. Cool. What a way to kick off 2022. We'll do the next 10 Roof show. Like, I was right.
Hey, fuck y'all. I got a source saying Rattler's coming and starting. Y'all shut your ass.
Rattler literally cannot legally play.
It says
Legally cannot play.
It says immediately.
We'll put him in a
It says you can play immediately.
Well, your source is wrong. Mama's wrong again. No, so again. No, it's I understand Jason Brown hitting the portal. I thought he would do it after the bowl game, but I mean, if he feels like it's in his best interest and he's going to get a jump on the transfer portal and start looking at other schools, and he wants to use his SEC film and go somewhere. I got nothing but well wishes. I will tell you this. I posted it a little bit earlier, a thank you to Jason Brown, and I mean every word because you know what? Jason Brown provided me two of the best nights I've had at Willie B in a long time. I mean, truly. Did he not? That Florida win was one of the most fun nights I've had at Willie B in forever. I mean, I literally, when's the last time we had a night game? And maybe I'm forgetting one that was very recent, but the last really fun night game? Tennessee in 2016? I mean,
it was.
I'm saying I know what was after that.
Hey, it was cold as hell that night. You were dumping water over my head. I didn't give a shit.
Yeah, well, we were on another planet where we were probably where J-Mo's source is right now.
This is me having
Yeah. So, Justin Langford said Jason Brown's going to go to OU.
No, I heard St. Francis.
He's going back to St. Francis. He said he's going to post a graphic. St. Francis, we're going to run it back one more time. One more time.
Hey, Zeb's still hurt. It's sources.
No, Zeb was practicing. From what I saw, Zeb was practicing.
What about Luke Doty? Is his foot still
Luke Doty literally had surgery, so he's out.
Most obvious dude of the day said, Saul Colt practicing.
Saul Colt was practicing today. I hope he was practicing. I hope he was practicing. I mean, listen, man, again, this is SEC ball, and if you don't like competition, then I don't know what to tell you, man. But, yeah, and then again, like I said, J.J. Nibari, and the take that I knew inevitably would happen, but shouldn't have been a take this morning. And, hey, I would love to get y'all's feedback. We could really dive into some stuff now, the banter. J.J. Nibari, declaring for the draft. He's opting out for the bowl game, which I'd assume if Beamer was very, hey, you got to ask them, but I mean, they're not playing in the bowl game. Quan White, not playing in the bowl game, the draft.
I don't like
People coming into the mention saying these guys are quitting and they are not fulfilling their obligations.
They aren't. That's bullshit. That is bullshit.
Hey, what's up with Harris? It didn't. You said something on a post about some weird sketchy shit about Harris for sources.
Hey, resources. Hey,
For sources.
the linebacker from Notre Dame
Right. That tore is
in the bowl game.
right in the bowl game.
He was a surefire top 10 pick. Not first
Oh,
round,
right.
top 10.
Yeah.
He ended up getting taken in the second round.
I will say this, listen. Do I like my favorite players not playing in the bowl game? I know I don't love it. I don't hope more of it happens. Do I understand it? Yeah. And I said this today on social media, I'll say it again, and people might be taken aback at this, but this is a news flash. Your favorite players don't love your school as much as you do. Most of them. They don't. J.J. Nigbari, I'm sure he loves being a Gamecock. But he don't love being a Gamecock more than he loves going in the first round and getting first round money. He doesn't. He doesn't. He doesn't love winning the Duke's Mayo Bowl more than being a first round draft. He doesn't. He doesn't.
And fans also need to understand that it's not what Monk and JC did last year when they opted out 5 games into the year.
Right.
Jossie.
So, I mean, I'm not saying I love it, and I understand the old heads, shout out to the old heads, will say, you finish what you started. And I get it, man. Everybody's wired different. Hey, Matt Corral's playing. Matt Corral is playing, right? Some guys are going to play. Some aren't going to play. But I'm just not, and I said this on the Daily Crew earlier today, I'm just not willing to die on the ledge of going on record calling everybody that opts out of a bowl game a quitter. I'm not willing to die on the ledge.
I'm not going to go after them, but they are definitionally quitters. I mean,
I guess I can't even say the word. Definitionally, they are. I mean, and people say, well, they're not Gamecock greats and they'll forever be this and that. But like, I mean, Debo Samuel's still going back around. And nobody cares. Is anybody still mad he didn't play in the freaking Belk Bowl? Is anybody upset? I mean, I'm upset we lost 28-0 and I was there, sat through it. But I'm not, I mean. Right.
Hey, let me ask you this. He was there. He was on the sidelines and he could have. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah, this is open forum here.
Let me ask you this. What in the hell is 90-year-old Matt Brown and Jimbo Fisher selling?
Yeah, what are Matt Brown and Jimbo selling? Great question.
Fucking backs. NIL deal.
Great question.
Matt Brown especially. Matt Brown might not be alive in 3 years.
Great question.
He's gonna be the coach of UNC.
What are they selling that Miami's not, who's 60th in recruiting? And I don't know where is Florida? Did I say Florida?
Matt Brown was retiring, per sources.
Yeah, first sources, Matt Brown. What is he selling?
Everybody's got a source. Per sources, Matt Brown's retiring. Per sources. Kyler Corton just signed his LOI. Welcome home, Kyler Corton. Attaboy. Kyler Corton, the receiver. So that is, I don't think I remember.
From in-state. Where's he from?
Kyler Corton is,
He's in-state.
he is from Somerton, South Carolina, 6'3", 190. So give you some more size on the outside, 6'3", 190.
I heard that Chayton kid's pretty damn good.
Yeah, I think he's going to play tight end. It sounds like he's going to be in Eric Kimry's room, which is tight end. So I think they're going to bulk him up. He's 6'2", 208.
Holy shit.
I mean, it sounds like. Yeah, we got Stogner for sure. Stogner is 6'6", 235.
That's the biggest me, baby. That's Mark Andrews type. 6'4", 208.
So,
Not 800 to Mark Andrews.
yeah. Let's see. Let's look at Stoddard. Who is he compared to in his recruiting profile? I'm very curious. Because they'll do like a comparison on the kid. His comparison was Jake Butt. Jake Butt. He was projected as a 4th to 7th round draft pick coming out of high school. So, by the way, for those asking about Stone Blant and how he projects as a baseball player, Perfect Game ranks these guys. And I mean, Perfect Game is one of the top. Payne can vouch. They're one of the top. It's the top, service for, Would you say it's the top, because they have their own travel teams, right? Summer teams, whatever. Are they the top for that too, or is it kind of just crapshoot? Yeah, Perfect Game's the top for. Right. Okay. So they're the top for travel ball and showcase baseball and ranking prospects, and their word is good. So they rank the prospects on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and they break down their rankings. And so I'll give you exactly what they said about the kid. It's very short, sweet, to the point. But they rated him a 9 out of 10 as a baseball player. And the projection reads as this: potential top 10 round pick and or highest level college prospect. So Mark Kingston also got him a good player. And I had, this ain't per sources, this is direct to your guy. Blake Cooper, I don't think I'm ever dropping his name. Blake Cooper is a good buddy of mine, pitched at South Carolina, College World Series champion, currently the pitching coach at the Citadel. He reached out to me and told me the night before Sunday, or the night before I think Blanton committed, said, hey, just tune in tomorrow, it's going to be fun. And I was like, he's a pretty good ball player too, right? I knew he was talking about. He's a pretty good ball player. He's like, hitter, ... So I don't know that Blanton's going to be a all-world outfielder in the field, but apparently he smashes. Whatever. Put him wherever. I don't care. Put him at DH. So, but I mean, you look at him, he's to be a senior in high school, bro, he's built. He's absolutely built. So,
Shout out John Jones for actually ranking at ATU.
John Jones ranking at ATU. Yeah. For sure. And 843-790-337, guys. We will be live running about 10 minutes. And this is flown by. This entire day. This week has just been like a just blur, man. With all the news, starting out Monday night with Spencer Rattler and Stogner. It all started with taquerias. It all started. All started at Montezuma's. That's it, right? Montezuma's? Yeah.
That would be a taco.
Did you go 1 or 2? One or 2?
Wait, what's
5 parking spots. Oh, that's 1.
one? Yeah, and one there.
The one on Belfast. Yeah, that's 1.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah, one. It was very good, too. Very good.
Very good.
Very good. Ate it for leftovers the next day.
Out of all the recruits besides that linebacker that went to Maryland,
Yeah.
was there anyone else you were kind of surprised about that didn't come here, or did we kind of get everyone that we?
No, I think I was I wasn't surprised by anybody that didn't sign. No, I don't think there were really any, outside of the Barham, it wasn't like a super dramatic signing. Recency bias is a thing. So let me just say this. Our big news happened Monday night. Let's just say it did. Let's say it happened today. We are having a totally, the vibe, I'm not saying the vibe's bad, but again, I think we're on cloud 9 because of the Rattler and Stogner news versus being disgruntled and pissed off about the Barham thing. I think we'd still be pissed off, but it would be far overshadowed by hype. I get it. No, dude, I get it. Trust me. I got on my laptop this morning, just like, what the hell, dude? Like, what? I thought they were trolling. It's like, no. Indeed signed his LOI to Maryland. Dude, listen, if you'd rather go play college football in Maryland than South Carolina, then you know what? So be it, man. Whatever. It is what it is. We wish you, like Beamer said, he said, we wish you well, and I'm sure he wanted to say the same thing he said about Bobo. Hey, we wish you well, and I got nothing but we wish you well. That's pretty much it. So, and you just leave it at that. Oh my God. All right, I'm going to read this comment off. J-Mo will like this one. Blaine says, per sources, Dabo Swinney admits that he, actually, I probably can't read this. No, I don't think I can, actually. I really don't. We will read this. No, I can't. No, I can't.
Read it.
No, I can't.
Let me see it. Which one is it?
The one on the bottom. I don't, in this climate, I don't think that plays well. So I think I'm going to leave that one until after the show. We'll leave that one post-show.
Is it on YouTube?
Doesn't play well. No, it's on Twitch. Doesn't play well in today's game. We'll save it, TSUS After Dark. We'll post it in the Big Cock Club. Join the Big Cock Club. We'll post it in there. But I'm not going to go on record and read it aloud in this day and age when people can clip anything and transform it into anything they want. I'm just not going to do it. So those in attendance. What, bro? There's 35 total in here, my guy. 35. Dude, there were 500 people Monday night after Rattler. My guy said there were. This doesn't even count Twitter. He said there were 1,700 on Twitter too after Rattler and Stogner announced. Taquerias.
Hey,
good luck to him.
Good luck to him. I agree.
good shit on the Allen score that you predicted. It was
The
actually
Allen score was close.
It was actually a lot closer from what you said.
Yeah.
What did you say, like 117 to like 52?
Right.
It was like 110 to.
48 or something like that. I don't know.
Holy shit, you really actually predicted that well.
I get some right, get a lot of them wrong, but I still get some right. That's the good news. Yeah, like I said, we're going to stay live about another 10 minutes or so. Shane Beamer going on his call-in show at Backstreet's Bar and Grill at 7. So be very curious to see what Coach Beamer has to say. And, yeah, so anyway, 843-790-3377. Again, guys, Gamecocks. Plain also says, Dabo would prefer that you read it per sources. Again, post show. We will dive into a post show. Per sources, yes. Per sources, we will get into a post show. Per sources. Gamecocks sit 20. All right, does this make you feel better? The Gamecocks are ranked 21st on Rivals. I mean, the 21st ranked class is not bad. Let me ask you this: after last year, you finished 79th. I told you, hey, you're going to finish 21st next year. What would you have said? You'd be like jumping for joy and thrilled. Maybe not. Dalton's tough to please. And like, hell no.
After the top 10 or 12, doesn't matter.
I think Beamer could have done better, to be honest.
I mean, what can he do about the Barham thing, though?
No.
And again, I think the portal is going to be our best friend. I think the Oklahoma connection's not done. I think there's guys.
Where's the wide receiver?
Theo Weiss, he hadn't announced. So that would be a massive get.
Where else would he go?
I don't know, but that would be a massive get. So
Yeah.
I'd love to see, wow. And get this, God. Pro Football Focus. I didn't even see this till right now. Pete Alk will want to pay attention to this. Pro Football Focus this morning put out an article. Can South Carolina win the SEC East in 2022 with Spencer Rattler? Holy smokes.
We're taking down the dogs.
Wow.
That's where I was like, hold on.
The dogs gotta take on us and we'll eat meat, baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be out there.
Bro, it's Rattler season.
Hey, I made the trip to UT. I would not bet on us winning it. I would bet on us finish third. Yeah.
Wait, is Hooker still there next year? Hooker?
And
For Tennessee?
Yeah, Hooker's back.
Wow. Yeah, we're going to be fourth. Third.
Never met a Hooker a cock couldn't tame. Until we went to Knoxville and got the shit beat out of us. So that was a great line that week until we were down 28-0 in the first quarter. It was Peyton's fault. He went to the game. So did you. Both of you sucked then.
Hey, I don't want to hear it.
I was sitting in damn Somerville. I had nothing to do with it.
I was in their student section. With the TSUS merch on.
Don't you dare try to blame it on the TSUS. I can tell you that. Don't you dare.
It sounds like that's what he's trying to do.
Right? A little bit.
I just want some appreciation for the storm hydrated. That entire game.
Jesse Jacobs says, yeah, because honestly, 21st with not a ton of great players I disagree that you said there's not a ton of great players in the class. I know it's a lot of 3-star guys, but I think there's some I will tell you this. I think the one thing, as we kind of close up here, I think what this class is missing, and maybe you'll disagree, what this class is missing is a lot of, like, day one impact guys. And I mean, like full-time starter, do I think Landon Sampson's going to step on campus and be our number one receiver? No, I do not. Is Stone Blank going to be our number one linebacker? Probably not as a true freshman. Maybe a guy like Keenan Nelson Jr. really flourishes and shines as a freshman, but there's just not a lot of that type of star power where, but I mean, again, if you factor in Spencer Rattler and Austin Steiger, that's, you got to count them. You have to count them. What if you get Theo Weiss too? What if it happens, hypothetically? I'd say the class is pretty good. We're
not done in the transfer portal.
And we're not doing the portal. So the biggest question I still say too, and I agree, J-Mo actually, I can't believe he actually made a smart comment. He brought it up earlier though, the offensive line. What do you and here's the problem with that though. I think you've got to go to the portal to get offensive linemen because the last thing you want is to be playing a bunch of freshmen on the O-line. Ideally you'd like to give O-linemen 2 years to get in the weight, at least to get in the weight room, develop. You're physically just not there as a true freshman. I mean, these are grown men. You got guys like Jordan Davis playing across from you at Georgia, who's just a man-child. You got, big-time guys you're going against. So, I don't know, man. Like, I know fans might hate to hear this, but I almost kind of think, like, a lot of our O-line issues, we just need to hope that the guys we have can get right. I mean, I don't know, man.
We need Bobby Haskins.
Bobby Haskins?
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Deebo Samuel was rated lower.
Oh, yeah, Deebo Samuel's very.
All but 3 of our commitments in this class.
Yeah, Deebo Samuel, yeah. So, I mean, you never know, man. I mean, again, you look at a guy like Kyla Corton. Like, he could be, you look at a guy like Xavier Short. You never know. But, like I said, like I've been saying before, like I'll say again, we are card counters at the blackjack table. We have to be that. You're South Carolina. You're coming off of what was a disaster in the Will Muschamp era. You've never recruited consistently in a top 10 clip. And until you start winning 10 games a year, you're not going to. So your job as Shane Beamer, recruit at a top 25 clip, take the 25th best class and make it play like the 15th best or the 10th best. That's your job. That's what you got to do. That's what you have to do. But again, that's why you use the portal. Because you just picked up a 5-star quarterback. So.
He's rated 4 stars now because he came to
Well, whatever.
Hey, there's a 4-star Maryland linebacker as a transfer in the portal right now.
Just go get the 4-star linebacker from Maryland.
Yeah,
Just to say, I've seen a lot of tweets people say, just put Maryland on the schedule. Put them on the schedule.
I'm with them. I didn't tweet it.
Put Maryland on the schedule. Why not? I'm down. Screw it. Again, guys, appreciate you all tuning in. Like I said, great interview after this with Quan Lewis, from Gamecocks linebacker. Little throwback conversation, throwback interview from back in the day. Really, really good stuff. We talked about his career. Quan, of course, playing on some of the best defenses in Gamecocks football history. So really, really great conversation. And those tuning in digitally, those tuning in the podcast, appreciate you tuning in again. A little bit of a crazy day. Decided to make this the podcast. So what you're hearing, this conversation at Tin Roof, it will be tomorrow's podcast. So we can appreciate y'all being flexible with that. Like I said, it just made no sense to go back home and re-record everything. So it made no sense. You know what I hate, man? College Football News has not released their prediction yet for the game.
What's going to happen? Zeb's going to get sacked 12 times.
How cool would it be, though, if the Zeb Nolan story ended with a win of the ball, and we just carry Zeb out on our shoulders?
Over Sam Howell.
Zeb Nolan beats Sam Howell to lead the Gamecocks to a 16-13 win. Sam Howell gets picked off 4 times. The Gamecocks run for 57 yards.
Jordan Burch had 3 sacks.
It comes out of nowhere. Then declares for the NFL draft, even though he's not eligible.
Hey, eligibility is a good thing.
Yeah, no, eligible he's not.
And fucking dang, you can go wherever you want.
Spencer Rattler's in street gear on the sideline. Hey, Spencer Rattler spotted on the sideline rocking a Beaver Bowl hat.
Hey, let's go. He follows Grant.
He follows the gram. He does. For those who might have missed it, we can close on that. We're going to save like 2 minutes. Spencer Rattler does indeed, not per sources, this is fact, follows the Spurs Up Show on Instagram. Shout out to QB1. Love to see that. Spencer Rattler follows the Spurs Up Show on Instagram. You love to see that. Truly.
Love you, Spencer.
We love you. We do.
Even though you've never been
QB1, and those, yep, per sources. See, those were wrong. Spencer Rattler has not been to the 5 Points Waffle House, as many rumored.
I'll take him there.
Well, hey, the last thing we needed to do is hang out with you.
Hey.
No, my favorite reply today to that tweet was some anonymous account tweeted and said, yo, if you go to the 5 Points Cookout, he valid.
I saw that.
He valid. I'm like, he is valid. You are right. You are right.
Nah, but Garner's very said it. Never lie.
He ain't valid when it comes to Tin Roof.
You got it. Next time you go in, ask about the kid who ate 5 All-Stars.
5 All-Star specials.
Was that it before?
Sounds terrible, actually. Sounds terrible.
We made it 30 for 30 on it.
I don't think I'd even eat 2. Like, I'm good at 1.
I'm ready for this one. Believe it or not.
I don't believe it. Per source. Everything is per source. Great time of year to have a guy.
Hey, against Florida, give me something.
Against UNC,
Give me that joint.
just give me somebody who's going to beat them. Just give me somebody who's going to beat them. So, again, in case you missed it, Kyler Gordon signing his letter of intent. And then he is the latest. Yes, he is the latest of the Gamecocks signees to make it official. So, with that being said, guys, again, right now, before we get off, the latest updates, Gamecocks recruiting class, not per sources, just per the internet, sit 23rd nationally, which is crazy though. 23rd nationally, 11th in the SEC. Number 1 is Texas A&M with Bama at 2. Guess who's 3? Georgia. And on Rivals, the Gamecocks sit at 21st. I'm not sure what they are in the conference on Rivals. Let's see. Rankings here. Here we go. In the conference on Rivals, the Gamecocks sit at 10th. Okay, so pretty simple. Either way, though, overall, nice job by shaping the class. You got Spencer Rattler, you got Steiner. I think you got some really nice pieces. In the class as a whole, I think you got guys that will be good players for you. And again, it's year 1, man. You got a 6 and 6. You got a top 25 class. It literally is year 1. Hey, if we're in year 5, year 6, year 7, and you're pulling in the class of the 11th best class in the SEC, then I think maybe there's cause for concern. This is year 1. So after the 79th ranked class last year,
I got 4 years eligibility. I'll step on.
right. Breaking news, this just in. Gamecocks pick up commitment from 0-star bartender, J-Mo. J-Mo, welcome to the team. 5-star bartender, 0-star wideout. 5-star water boy, J-Mo. Obviously, you serve it every night. Right, exactly. That's a good place to close it. All right, hey, appreciate you all tuning in. Like I said, come on out to Tin Roof in the Vista, $3 draft, $3 rumble, $7 book. What, 11? Wow, I thought it was 7. I got bamboozled, ran amok, led astray. Either way, whatever. Hey, why get the 10 for 14 wings when you can have 5 tendies? 5 for 10 tendies. That's the question that truly needs an answer. That's the question that needs an answer. Again, folks, come on out to Tin Roof, though. Either way, great food, great people, great times. We're going to be out here, and I'll be tuned in to Shamer's call-in show at 7. See what Coach has to say. Again, guys, if you're tuned in digitally, thank you so much. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. Also, if you're tuned in the podcast, appreciate y'all for tuning in. So until next time, y'all coming out to Tin Roof. Appreciate all those who came out. all the homies. And remember, folks, whatever you do, tip your bartenders and don't tweet it. Don't tweet it. Don't tweet it, recruits. All right. Appreciate y'all tuning in. For those of the podcast, enjoy this conversation before we get Gamecocks linebacker. Go on, Lewis.